Hi, I'm Matt Covey.
And I'm Holly Wengerski.
We're from Suburban Canine Dog Training. We see a lot of dogs that don't know how to swim in a pool properly, and what's really sad is over 5,000 dogs drown every single year because they fall into a backyard pool and don't know how to get out.
If the dog falls into the pool right here, odds are they won't be able to get out right here. A super agile dog like a cattle dog or a Malinois might be able to, but the dog we're working with today might panic and not be able to get out. So the goal today is to teach her the proper way to get out of the pool.
Some people want their dog to know how to swim in a pool and other people don't. Either way, it's important you teach your dog how to get out properly if they were to fall in, and especially if they fall in when they're unattended. So we're gonna get changed and we're gonna show you exactly how to do that with your dog. Having a foundation of training before you start acclimating your dog to a pool is pretty important, and you'll see why in a moment. What we do is we use the heel command, and heel just means walk nicely at my side. We use the heel command as a calming technique. So we're not gonna force Sunny into the pool, but we're also not gonna just throw a ball and have her unexpectedly end up in the pool and get surprised. We're gonna, entice her in there and get her in nice and slow. Sometimes we use treats for this process. Sunny she likes praise, honestly, more than she likes treats. So what you're gonna see is Holly's gonna use the leash. She's gonna work with her. I'm gonna be in the water calling her to me. And we're just gonna use basically love and affection as our lure here. Now, the end goal of what we're working on today is that if Sunny were to fall in the pool over there, away from the steps, that she knows how to get to these steps to get out. But we're not just gonna push her off the side, of course. And she's a big dog. If I had a little dog, I could just climb in, holding them down there and teach them to swim. For Sunny, we have to acclimate her to the pool first. She swam in a lake before and in a river, but never in the pool. So we're gonna get her into the pool. Holly's gonna use the heel command. I'm gonna get in the water myself. As I mentioned a moment ago, you can use treats, that's fine. I'm just gonna use praise to call her to me. So the start is to get her into the water, and then we're gonna turn her around and have her exit, so she's already starting to learn this is how she gets out. All right, Miss Sunny, come on.
Yep.
Come on, good girl.
Come on, Sunny.
Come on.
Let's go. Come
What
on.
a good girl.
Good
Come on,
girl.
Sunny.
Come on, Sunny. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, Sunny.
Come on, Sunny. What a good
Let's
girl.
go. Good
Come on.
girl.
Come on, good
Come
girl.
on, Sunny. Yep. Let's try again. Come here, Missy. Good girl. Sunny. Yep.
Sunny, come on.
Come on.
Good girl. Come on. We tried to get Sunny in using the heel command, and she was nervous. She just doesn't quite understand what these steps are. So what I'm going to do is pick her up and take her in. But once again, I'm not taking her down there and, of course, tossing her in. I'm going to walk in together, with her here, let her down, and then let her swim back to the side. Come here, my good girl. Oh, come here, Sunny.
Good job, Sunny. Good girl.
Good girl.
Good job.
And here, I just want her to relax for a second, see that this isn't so bad and nothing crazy is going to happen. And then now, we're going to send her off to the side. Okay, Sunny. Come here, good girl.
Good girl. Good job.
What a good girl. Are you ready? Let's get out.
Come on, Sunny. Good swim. Good girl. Good job, Sunny. Good girl. Oh, big shake. Good job. Good girl.
So now we've had her in the water a couple of times and she's getting better. So we've just had her in here twice. She's comfortable when she gets in and she's swimming out, but she's still not ready to use these steps. Now, honestly, we don't need her to use these steps because the goal is not to teach her to be comfortable swimming in the pool. The goal is to teach her how to get out properly. So at the end of the day, think about your goals for your dog. If you want them to be a backyard swimmer, then they need to learn to use, to get in comfortably on their own. But really, all I care about with Sunny is that she's able to get out of the pool. That's what all of this is about, that she knows how to find the exit, which is right here. So this time we have Sunny facing the other way in the pool. So the first few times we had her facing to the steps, now she's not facing that way. We want to let her go and we want her to go the right direction to get out, but she might not do that. We might have to guide her. So we'll go ahead and let her go and see what she does. She's making a turn, which I like, but she might be heading for that wall. And it looks like she is. So you can see she's trying to get out here. There's no way she's going to be able to make it out of this, and I want her to figure that out. So you can see she's trying. It's a little bit stressful for her. I want her to learn that doesn't work. And I want her going towards these steps.
Come on, Sunny. Right here.
So what you saw just a moment ago, that's what causes dogs to drown. She was in the middle of the pool. She made a beeline for the shore. You could see she got her paws up. She's not agile enough. She weighs 80-something pounds. She's probably a little bit overweight. She was not able to pull herself up, but she wasn't going to reevaluate. She's not like a human that says, you know what, let me try another option. She would have stayed there kicking and scratching most likely until she ran out of energy and sank. So that's exactly why we're doing this. So again, we've got her facing away from the steps and we're going to see what she does. Peace, Sunny. Oh, look at that. She pulled us. She made the turn.
Good job, Sunny.
Good girl, Sunny.
Yay,
Good girl.
good girl. Good job, honey.
What a good dog.
Good job.
So we're taking a little break with Sunny. When you do this, it's tiring for them and it's also a little bit stressful, so you need to take breaks. It just depends on your dog. If your dog can handle, 20 or 30 minutes of working between breaks, that's okay. Sunny cannot, so we've been in the pool for 5 or 10 minutes and we're already taking a break. Take as many as you need. And when it comes to stress, so one thing I want you to think about is this is a life or death scenario, right? So Sunny doesn't really want to get in the pool right now. When we, first got her in, I have to carry her in, and that's okay. Through time, she'll get very comfortable with it. But honestly, my goal for Sunny is not for her to be the best, dog ever at swimming in the pool. I actually don't want her to get into pools without being invited. So I don't want a dog that sees a pool and says, I know how to get in, and runs the stairs and climbs in right away. I would prefer to have a dog that only gets in rarely if I invite her to, but I also want a dog who's alive, right? So that's why we're working on this. So if she were to ever fall into the pool, that she knows how to get out and she doesn't do what we saw just a few minutes ago where she beelines for the shore and tries to climb out there. So before you consider your dog to be safe in the pool, they need to pass what we call the final test, which is being somewhere in the deep end, far from the steps, facing the wrong direction. And I really want to see her turn and head the right way. Right now, I'd say there's a decent chance she's going to fail this, which is okay, but we're going to see how she does. Okay, Sunny. Get out, puppy dog. So she's heading right for the side, which I don't love. So you can see, once again, she's trying to get out here. Oh, so there, I did like it. Looked like she turned on her own.
Good job, Sunny.
I still wouldn't trust her completely, but that was great.
Good job.
When she gets out, Holly's going to give her lots of praise and lots of love.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
So you can see Sunny did pretty well there. I honestly don't know if she was going to, come all the way down this way on her own because I stepped in to help a little bit. It seemed like maybe 50-50, but I would say she's not done, and I would not trust her in the backyard here unattended in case she fell in the pool. She's tired now. She's not a high energy dog. We've been working long enough. We've only been doing this probably about 30, maybe 40 minutes with some breaks mixed in, but the goal is not to exhaust the dog. So I think we're done for the day with her for actually as far as swimming goes. But what I want to do is we're going to work on this again and again, and I want to be down there in the deep end and want to make sure however I have her oriented when I let go that she immediately turns, and I don't want her even thinking about the side. Only when she's done that over a period of days will I really start to trust her. We wanted to spend a few minutes just recapping how it went with Sunny, and then of course giving you some safety tips for your dogs. First of all, think about every dog is different. So Sunny, we have different goals for Sunny than you might have for your dog. I mentioned earlier, I don't want her jumping in the pool unattended, and I really don't even want her running down the steps. I don't want her to swim in a pool. I just want her to be safe if she ever were to fall into one. So for that reason, I didn't spend a ton of time coaxing her down those steps. Now, if you have a dog and you say, I really want them to use the steps, that's fine. You'll have to spend a lot more time doing that. So what I'd want you to do is use lots of praise, use treats, whatever. This doesn't need to be a 5-minute process or even a 1-day process. Take your time with it. If your goal is to get them, coming down those steps, take time until they're, comfortable going in and out. You can always do what I did, which is carry them in, let them swim their way out. And some dogs, just from doing that a few times, will get comfortable swimming and going in on their own. Now, some other things to think about. Your dog could be very different than Sunny. You might have a dog who's just beeline for the pool, diving in. For a dog like that, couple thoughts. One is I would not let them go in the pool without being invited. So I would come up with some sort of word, like, do you want to swim? And then point and tell them swim. Almost like the way we invite a dog up onto the couch or the bed. And then if they were to get in on their own, I would tell them no and say, hey, get out, and shoo them out of the pool and make them know that's not allowed. You have to wait for the command. Otherwise, you always run the risk of you're in the house doing something, your dog has been swimming for an hour, they get tired and something happens. So we're pretty big believers on that.
Another couple of safety tips for you to keep in mind is no drinking a lot of pool water. That's not good for them. So just monitor that, of course. Also having a really solid line of obedience. So recall is super important in case your dog does launch itself into the pool. You want to be able to call them out, or if they go in when not expected. And then practicing obedience around the pool in general is super important so they have control. So if you have that overexcitable dog that wants to always launch in, utilizing heel, downstay, commands, just so they know impulse control, they can't launch in whenever they want.
Hopefully this has been helpful for you. We're done for the day right now, but like I mentioned, Sunny is not done with this process. I don't trust her completely. She's better than she was, but she still has a little ways to go. When you do this with your dog, if it's a one-day process, great, that's awesome. But if it's not, that's not a big deal. And one thing I do want to mention, even if it's a one-day process and you feel like they passed the final test, you put them in the deep end, everything was great, don't just now trust your dog completely in the backyard without attention on them, because they could forget, especially if they're not in that pool for months and months and you've only done it once, they're probably going to forget. So I would ask them, I would try this over a period of days, and then maybe once a week or once a month over the summer season, get the dog in the pool in the deep end and make sure they know how to find their way out. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.